Hey, what's up, Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss book 23 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, Return of the Mummy. So this came out, September 94. This is the sequel to, what was the first one? Mummy Lives? Mummy something? Mummy, where is it? Night of the Living Dummy? Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Book 5, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. And then here we are, book 23, The Mummy, Return of the Mummy, Not the same mummy. It's just a different mummy. And this one says he's back from the dead, right? It's a different mummy. And it's still holds true to the title and the cover art that this particular mummy is male. So he is back from the dead. And he has returned. So it's not a lie. It's just an assumption that we're talking about the same mummies from the first book, but we're not. So Gabe is back. He is back in Egypt with his Uncle Ben and cousin Sari. It's now summer vacation. Now, the entirety of this book references last summer we did this, last summer we did that, last summer we explored the pyramid, last summer we, defeated the mummy's curse with my mummy hand, the summoner, which is my good luck charm, right? Wrong. All of that is wrong. The first story takes place Christmas break, specifically referenced numerous times that he's on Christmas vacation with his parents in Cairo as they do business in Alexandria, that he wonders how Christmas in Egypt's going to be because most of Egyptians don't celebrate Christmas, how Christmas breakfast in the hotel is going to just be cereal stuff. Christmas, 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 not summer. So I had to look this up because it really annoyed me that it was kept. It's a continuity error. It's not a plot hole. It's a continuity error. So if the characters we were introduced to in the first book, their story takes place in Christmas, that's not the summertime, that's the wintertime, technically. In 2009, there was a re-release of a lot of the original Goosebumps books. So 15 years after this first one came out, there was a re-release, and they corrected a lot of errors in this book. Specifically, they changed summer to winter. They changed a lot of the 4,000-year reference points to thousands of years ago. Certain words were changed to keep up with the continuity and the logic behind the actual story. So I'm happy to know that there was a correction 15 years later. But why was this approved back in 94 and allowed to stay inaccurate for 15 years? Very weird. It's a good story. It's quick. It's 118 pages long. It's very quick. It's very fast. Keeps your attention. But bro, major continuity errors. Why did R.L. Stine write that? And why was the editor allowing that? Why was the publisher allowing that? Why? That's just weird. That's a major thing. Major thing. It's just strange. Anyway, aside from that, and again, kudos to everybody for actually correcting it 15 years later, the story has Gabe, Sari, and Ben, Uncle Ben, exploring a new pyramid, still within the area, but not the Great Pyramid. It's just a different pyramid. So they're assuming it's Ben and his team are assuming it's the cousin of King Tut, Tutankhamun, whose name is Prince Karu. And so they go into one chamber and it's empty, and then realizing it's a false chamber, and then find the actual Prince Karu's chamber with the mummy inside, right? So he's the mummy who's back from the dead, but how does he come back? So Ben gives Gabe a pendant, an amber pendant with a scarab inside. The history and mythology of scarabs within ancient Egyptian culture, story points for that matter. And then there's this reporter from the Cairo Sun called Nyla, who has an amber pendant herself. No bug inside, but she has an amber pendant herself. And she's like, oh, twinsies, right? So she's doing a story on Ben discovering the tomb. His partner is very against, doing this because there's been warnings all around, let him rest in peace in regards to Prince Karu. So everybody does what they want. The tomb is opened, the mummy is there, and then Nyla asks, she's just like, oh, what are the 6 words, Ben, to bring things back to life? So I've heard. And he says the 6 words, and then something's not sounding right. How would Nyla know that there are 6 words within an ancient chant? He didn't discuss that there's 6 words, that there's words, but not 6 specific words. So something didn't sound right. So he phones his partner to meet him at the pyramid. They go in to explore and things like that. And it turns out Nyla is the sister of Prince Karu thousands of years later, still in an embodiment. And she transformed into a scarab and lived in her own pendant And when she's out of the pendant in human form, obviously the pendant stays close to her. And then when she's back in scarab form, she goes back in the pendant. Interesting on a magic front. So we have Egyptian mythology thrown in, but we have Egyptian magic thrown in. Very two different things. So it was nice seeing that, being a fan of the Red Pyramid series, the Kane Chronicle series, knowing Egyptian magic and magicians and all that stuff going on within the Duat, etc. It wasn't too far-fetched for me to stay focused within this story because it's magic. So continuing on with that, throwing in the mythology with the magic, very quick kind of turnarounds that the mummy is brought back to life, but then he's trying to, kill the kids, but then on Nyla's behalf, but then winds up trying to destroy Nyla on the kids' behalf. Very interesting chain of events. Nyla then, shrinks back into a scarab and runs away after Gabe inadvertently destroys her pendant because she stole his mummy hand, which helped elevate the magic, saying those 6 magic words. A lot of this stuff comes together from book 1 to book 2, so I'm happy that we had like a kind of an ending. But then, of course, it's a matter of, Gabe tucks himself in at night on the cot in the tent by the pyramid, and then, he knew it was a night to never forget, and then the last word is ouch. And so it's assuming that he was bit by Nyla the scarab, and then what happens next. So it's quick, it's fun, it's logical within story 1 to story 2, minus the summertime aspect, because it happened in the winter for the first book, not the summer. So mixed feelings. The cover art matches the story. Not a lot of mummy in this. It's more of a matter of trying to uncover the mummy, which is fine, but it's cute. It's a logical sequel when you know that they changed everything to winter instead of summer. And that's about it. Book 23, R.L. Stine Goosebumps, Return of the Mummy. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.